FYI, it's another Airfix and Chill. And it's not on a Tuesday, it's on a Monday, this one, which is pretty good. You were all confused last week. I understand. You were all confused. I get it. It's just one of those things. I can't, as I'm self-employed, I do DJs and discos and karaoke's. And when somebody offers me to work on a Monday night, I can't really turn it down because YouTube doesn't really pay that much, does it, folks? Even if you are in the partner program, it's a very hard game, this. So, but here we go. We've got so many in the chat, which is great. Yorkshireman Models, you can jump in. The link is in the Discord if you want to jump in and pop in CHS that unique camera. If you get muted because of sound and stuff, we'll get that sorted, But anyways, so in the chat we've got Dave from Sprue and Glue. Hello, my friend. How are you?
Well, I was all right until you said YouTube pay.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, they do. Yes. Some weeks I get 6 quid.
Oh, do we get paid?
I did have a £700 month once, so on YouTube.
Ooh. Oh, you lucky man!
And then Model Minutes ruined it for me.
Oh. Ouch! No, I'm all right, buddy. Thank you very much, and thank you for asking me along.
Always a pleasure, mate. Always a pleasure. I just wanted people to see that Bearcat that you've built, if that's all right.
You mean that wonderful aeroplane?
Oh yeah,
I seriously have really enjoyed building and painting.
Yes, you've got me now. I've got mine down here, and thanks to Model Officer James, from what's he called, Sprue Box. I ordered this from him. Really good. It was done here within a week. Really good price, and I've got mine to build. And now you've built yours. You've almost given me that urge to build it.
Dude, if you don't build it, I'd be disappointed.
Yes, I know.
I know. I haven't put the ammunition on, but the kit is lovely. It really is. It goes together so well. The only problem I had was the cowling meeting the fuselage.
What did you do to that then?
I used Sprue Goo.
So there's a bit of a gap, is there?
At the top edge.
Okay.
I put a bit of Sprue Goo in, sanded it back, and can you tell?
No, I can't tell. Let me put you on bigger screen anyway, then we'll get a good look, shall we? Let's put you on bigger screen.
I really did enjoy this.
You can't tell that at all.
No.
What was the blue? What was the blue you used on it?
It was this one.
Oh, fair play. Model Air.
And it was number 71004 blue.
And is that the one for US Naval, I guess?
I don't know. I just found a nice blue and used it.
Fair play, mate. Fair play. Can't say fairer than that, can you?
I'm sorry, but I'm not one of these that's going to go out and buy 20 quid's worth of paint just to use one bottle of paint just to get the right blue.
I wasn't saying that.
No.
I think it's a fabulous colour.
It's a lovely blue.
And I was asking whether it was in the naval one or the Air Force one, That was.
No, I just bought it, and I'll tell you what, the detail on the cockpit there is.
There you go. Yeah.
Really
very, very nice. Yeah, I like it.
Nice, isn't it?
I even put the red trigger in there.
Yeah, what red did you use on that one? I'm joking, mate.
It was called red.
It was red. Yeah.
What was the number that you said you used again?
Yeah.
No, seriously. I was actually curious if I have that blue laying around. I was curious.
71004.
71004. Okay.
Yeah, and it's Vallejo Air.
Fair play. It looks great,
but
mate.
No, the kit was a dream to build. It really was. I loved it. Loved every minute of it.
I found Hobby Boss's kits to be quite enjoyable. I really have.
Yeah. Which is what you're building there, isn't it?
No, Not at the moment. It's Suyata. I guess I
Ooh.
but it's kind of that.
Somebody build that.
And it's supposed to be all, snap fit, so you don't have to use glue, but I'm probably going to use glue just because I had to on the engine because I already broke some of the lines.
Just out of asking, when it's enough to use glue, do you still, can you use TET on it, or have you got to use super glue on that sort of plastic?
Most of it just is pressure fit.
But have you used like Tamiya extra thin, or are you using super glue?
To fix the bit, I'm using Tamiya extra thin. It's the same kind of plastic as everything else.
Though sometimes when you have these click fit ones, they use an ABS that doesn't work with TET. It's not polystyrene.
Well, so Gundam is that ABS, but Tamiya extra thin will still work on Gundam.
Didn't know that.
Yep.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah.
It blew my mind the first time I did it because I did it on accident. And I was like, oh wait, no, this shouldn't work with it, and it somehow did. So it wasn't a great hold. So super glue is preferable.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Fair enough. Moving on to John, what have you got on the bench there, mate? You're looking and a Mazda Roadster, is it?
Yeah, I just was doing some masking and some spraying for the Mazda, and I got a lot of spraying done earlier today. So,
Get on. That's fair enough.
Yeah, it's coming along nice.
Coming on nicely. So then we move on to our buddy Nunu, who's building a Lightning.
Yeah.
Indeed, I am. Lightning 172nd from Airfix. I painted in this lovely plastic gray. This one is almost ready for primer because this one is the one I'm building on live stream on Thursdays.
Oh, brilliant.
So, upon many popular demand, I was told to build the rest and spray it, and then on the next live start doing the paint work. So here I am.
Yeah.
And otherwise I'm told. But yeah, it's been a lovely kit. It's been I built one of those in the past and I forgot how good it is. The fitting has been absolutely amazing. And if people doubt, please go see on the live and you can see there's no tricks, there's no nothing. That's just me plowing along. This is 2 lives cockpit, and all of this is 2 lives of 2 hours, and that's that.
Did you have any troubles with the nose on that one?
No, not at all, man. As you can see, it went. What I found is that you have injector pin marks on each side.
Yeah.
That you need to sand it off, and then on the inside you need to sand it off around the nose cone, so that the fitting will be snug. Because otherwise, it will be too strong. Both with the injector pins and this part here, if you sand it off, again, as you can see, and if you guys see the live, you see that I'm not bullshitting. That's how it goes. It just goes perfectly well. Again, dry fitting, sanding, dry fitting, sanding, and it works a treat.
There we go. You see, there is proof in the pudding that you must dry fit. Don't blame the kit.
Definitely.
I will say that I had a nightmare with my nose. I filled it, had to fill it in the end, and I think I had a short shot because no matter what pressure I put and how much I fettled out the inside, it wouldn't close up at the top. It was an absolute nightmare. But I think I had a short shot on that little piece, and I didn't realise. But you're talking 3 years ago since I built a Lightning, dude. You know what? 4 years ago now it's been.
Yeah.
But to be fair, mate, they are a lovely piece. They are really.
Yeah. To be fair with you, when I first put the two out, but sorry, my English is rubbish today. When I first put the 2 halves together, you could see that there was a gap there. But then I started looking around why the gap was there. And again, there's 2 injector pins on each side of the fuselage that you need to sand it off. And sanding off around on the inside, around the nose cone. Eventually, you get the snug fit and you're good to go.
Fantastic. Well, there you go. And then you're masking up the canopy now, ready for spraying.
Yeah, yep, indeed. Hopefully,
Cool.
will be good.
So then we've got plastic. We'll move on to Sully now quickly. Sully, wow. That's a bit nice.
I know. It's too clean.
Too clean. Yeah. Which manufacturer is that one?
No, we guess.
Airfix.
Who? Yeah.
I didn't know you did Airfix. I thought you hated Airfix.
No, fuck off. Don't hate Airfix.
There goes this week's pay.
That's it now, yeah.
No, it's all right. We're a few minutes in now, so we can get away with it.
Right, we can say what we like.
We're past the floodgates.
Yeah. People ringing me, yeah. Call ended. Right. So what's your scheme on that one going to be? Have you got a box there so I can have a look?
No,
That looks like trainer colours.
I've got the
Yeah, I was just going to say, is it?
No, it's the naval.
Oh, the Navy one. Nice.
Did you have problems with the wings, or is it all going together?
No. I've done this one and the infamous bird's nest one, which I haven't got to hand annoyingly. I did them both at the same. Bought them both at the same time. Did them both at the same time, and not one of them I've had an issue with the wings.
Was it you, Nunu, who had a problem with the wings, and you had to clip off the locating pins on them to make the wings fit?
No, I haven't done that one. I think the one that had the problems was Gary.
Gary, was it?
Yeah.
He had
And
that
then-
problem, did he?
Yeah.
Fair enough. I know somebody said. Right, on to the other workbench. Oh, sorry, go back. What
No,
you saying?
I was gonna say the only I had just a small issue with the engine cattles, but it was only a tiny one, just a bit of fettling. I got them into place, but other than that, brilliant kit, went together really well. The only thing I'm annoyed about, I ordered. This is all because I did this. I didn't painted it. I built it, but before I'd done this before I moved. Apparently, I ordered some seat belts and I can't find them anywhere.
That's right. Masking tape will do.
Yeah. Well, I've found some World War II ones, which might they might suffice for it.
And there was a guy, I can't remember, I think Jonathan Mock linked it on the intro, or maybe even him that did it, the Interest Money Company, where he made them out of masking tape, but he also bent the wires around to actually make the buckles. And it was really,
I have done it before. I have done it before. It's just whether I can be bothered to do it is the question, really.
At least you're honest.
Yeah.
So I've done it. But...
Fair enough. So also on the bench we've got Alex, and he's building.
This is a Beaufort.
The Beaufort, yeah. So I had to look twice, and the front threw me a little bit.
Yeah, this is the ICM 148th Beaufort.
It's a terrible kit, that, isn't it? It doesn't go well together. It's a terrible kit.
It is lovely.
Yeah.
I mean, they give you basically full engines, which you will never see.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is nice. I mean, these are the undercarriage, which are like little. They're incredibly delicate to put together, but actually, when they're together, they're pretty strong.
Yeah.
And they just slide in. You know, in terms of fit.
Yeah.
Just perfect. So yeah, just weathered the interior. Well, no, I just washed the interior. I got to do all the chipping and stuff. Put that together, and I've got these little guys to go with it.
So some pilots.
ICM 148th pilots and ground crew.
Fantastic. How are they actually? Are they pretty well molded? Are they pretty well?
The detail on these you probably won't be able to see on this little webcam, but for 48 scale, they're really crisply molded. I mean, they're as detailed as 35th scale figures. God knows how I'm going to do them service painting wise.
What I would do is I heard a theory that if you put all those parts in a bag and then tip in the paints that you need. Give it a shake, and whatever sticks works. I have heard that before. I've never tried it, so if anybody would like to try that, that would be really
Yeah,
good.
give that one a go.
And actually, yeah. So anyway, and lastly on the list, but not least, is our good friend John Parker, the man who knows everything about scale models. How are you, my friend?
yeah.
Are you doing well?
I've got nothing on the bench, Moss.
I know. We have to have a discussion about that, but I'm more loving the fact you've got a couple of Matchbox kits above your head there that look pretty smart.
I've got quite a lot of Matchbox kits. I used to have virtually everything in their entire range.
Yeah.
But something happened about 2 years ago, and I haven't anymore.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah.
Tonight the subject matter is starter sets, and I will go into something a bit later that I don't know whether you saw my comment on your video. I really wished I watched your video before I did
On the Sherman.
video on the Sherman, yeah. But I'll get into that in a bit. But I'm glad you're on because I need to ask a few questions on this kit. But anyways, so excellent. So I want to thank everyone that's in the chat. Also, a big, huge shout out to Crazy Looker for the super chat. Thank you so much, my friend. It really is appreciated. And because you're a channel member, can you email me your address? Because as some of you may know, I've set up a new Substack basically, and I'm writing articles for it. I'm putting up ditties and pictures and all sorts on this Substack. And the channel members who are paintbrush and above will get free membership to that Substack because it works out about £5.99 a month, and you'll be able to see what I've been writing and stuff. But I also give out free memberships as well. So if we have competitions, I'll give out free memberships to Substack as well. But that's what I'm been doing recently. I didn't want to do a Patreon because I feel it's too restrictive. I've moved on and I've started called Substack, where I can put up videos, I can put up articles, pictures, chats, and everything else. So that's why I'm going down the Substack route. And at the moment, it's all free on there. So you can go and have a look and subscribe to it. There will be free content on there up until the next 2 or 3 months. And after, there'll be a paid membership tier system for that as well. I'm really enjoying it. I've had really good fun writing the articles. They go off on a tangent, then they all come back together to a specific point that links my modelling section to my little diversion sort of thing. You've enjoyed them, haven't you, Fenris? Please say you have.
I have. You caught me right as I was into a coughing fit. Yes, no. If you can't tell from my voice, I've been kind of fighting losing my voice. But no, yeah, they're really good articles, though. They've been quite fun to read.
Yeah, so it's like the stuff I write in my zine. So you've had my zine before. That's the articles I tend to write. I tend to talk about something that's happened to me. Then I link it in some loose way to what my point was about scale modelling. But anyway, at the moment, one of the things that's getting me is a tallery. So let's go back, right? So I went to a model show last week before, and I picked up this, which is the first diorama set from Revell. Now, I bought it thinking this is a new thing. This is new tooling, everything. Comes with the paints, the paints and the brush and the glue. Now, this glue here, Contactor, in my mind, if Airfix put their own cement, what's it called? What do they call it again? The precision poly cement in their starter sets, I think they would have almost the perfect starter set. But a tannery, bless them, sent me a kit to review on the channel. I have not opened it yet, so I'm not reviewed it yet, but I'm going to show it with you guys now. I'll go big screen. Now, to me, they've kind of upped the game because this is the Atelier complete set for modelling. And it doesn't just come with a model and paints and glue. It actually comes with a tool set of their sprue cutters, which they aren't good, right? No. They do cut plastic. But if that's the case, they don't cut too close to the edge, just leave a little nub at the end. Then they also give you the sanding stick. They give you sandpaper. Sorry, let's look again. Precision tweezers, as well as so you got tweezers, sprue cutter, and a sanding stick on top, as well as it looks like some glue. But the real one for me is it actually comes with Vallejo paint. Now it looks like Vallejo have now changed. Let me put this light on a minute. Vallejo have now changed their logo because now it looks like that.
Yeah,
So-
they did that. I think like in May or something like that. Just
Yeah.
semi recently, I noticed.
But they actually come with like with dropper bottles, not like But the question is tonight is what really makes a starter set? Now I know that this kit in here, which is the F-16 Night Falcon, I'm presuming that is a 10-year-old, 12-year-old kit from a tannery.
It's probably ancient, Moss. The
Yeah.
kit's probably ancient.
But as I said, I'm not going to open this box up
But
because
the idea of that boxing is brilliant.
yeah. So the question really is that at the moment we've got there's two standards, isn't there? So you've got Revell. Now this is why I'm glad you're on, John, because I really wish I watched your video. When I got it, I was like, oh, look at this! It comes with a bridge.
Mhm.
Gets out of the box, and it's a PK71 Matchbox kit.
Mhm.
But to be fair, with Matchbox kits, they seem to have lasted the test of time. Now, this Sherman Firefly, I remember building it years and years ago. Now, to me, if you look, there's hardly any flash on there at all. The way you build it is very, very, what can I say, ease. Because the bogies are they're two-part bogies, so you can paint the wheels separate. Then you put the wheels in between the bogies, click them together. But also, if you look on the side there, there's holes. I know basically the bogies fit on there as holes. So there's pins in. So I think they made a really good decision with bringing this one out. And the other thing that I found was really impressive was the tracks. So I can't remember. I've seen these tracks before, but I didn't know they were Matchbox. But they've got if I put the big screen up so you can see, they've got the best linking tracks ever. So basically, you've got that there, if there's a camera there, and you've got a thing, and it just slides in through like so.
Twist it around.
Twist it around and pull. And there you go. Now you've got a complete track. You can't see a join there. Are these the best tracks in the world, rubber band?
I think they're the best vinyl tracks you can get because when you stretch the tracks over the bogies and the retainer wheels and all that.
Yeah.
Those don't tend to snap, whereas Airfix ones sometimes do.
Right. Has anybody else built a Matchbox kit of this Sherman Firefly? Anyone here built one?
Yeah.
Obviously, I built it.
What about who else said yes?
Yep, those are the original Matchbox design.
And what did you think? So these tracks, because in my video I couldn't remember. I remember these tracks right in something, but I'd be blown if I remember doing it with a Matchbox. I thought it was staple and glue and hope for the best. You know what I mean? So you remember building some of these tracks as well, do you, Alex? Back in the day,
Matchbox did it with all of their 72nd or 76 scale tanks, I believe, like C-34.
Yeah.
And Matchbox were really ahead of their time.
They were.
It's funny enough. I've got the 1/32 scale Supermarine Spitfire, the F-22. Gorgeous of there. I've got an old kit of that, which I've just actually done an unboxing on it that will go up shortly. But the crispness of that, the actual gates on the molding are a bit thick compared to modern standards. The engraving's a bit heavy, but it was engraved. It had interior detail, although small parts are a bit heavy. But for the time, thinking it was like 74, 75, you think of what Airfix and Revell were doing at the time, they were well ahead of what everybody else was doing. And they usually came in 2 or 3 colors.
Yeah. Well, this is what I mean. This one here isn't the two color piece. The only thing that's lacking in this, right, is that all they've given you are 2 paints, and the paints is just basically green and brown. You can't paint that bridge with those 2 colors. That's the only two. If your first diorama you're pretty buggered because you can't do the stonework and you can't do the the tarmac or whatever it is on top. Because
I mean, that is typical Revell in terms of how lazy they've been with that, because that is just the old Matchbox kit which came with that bridge, with 2 paints in it.
Yeah.
You know?
I would
don't you think that Revell are a lazy company in general?
I think they've become a lazy company
Yeah.
under their investment company buyout, unlike Airfix.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Two very different approaches to running companies for those investment companies.
Yeah, the policy and the culture for the 2 different companies are completely opposite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only thing I will say is that Revell have a lot of fingers in pies, because basically Revell is the Airfix of yesteryear, whereas with Airfix, they had the motor racing, like the motor racing side of it, with their track. They're not talking about Scale Electrics, and I'm talking about their own motor racing track. They had all these games and Mad Marbles. They proper went for it. And now
Remember the Weebles?
Yeah, and the Weebles, and Revell are doing the same, because they don't really make scale models like they used to. They're into drones, they're into radial control, 3D puzzles, everything. So hold on in a minute. Hang on, close that off a minute. Close that off. Oh, shut up. Oh, close. Sorry, my phone. Close that. Right, that's cool. So that's the issue I have with Revell, is that they seem to be spreading themselves too thin. But I think the profit for them now is in the RC market, the drone market, and those bloody 3D puzzles that they keep putting out that I end up building over Christmas, because I get given one from Lidl, So, but Tamiya are very much into that. They're into their models and their radial control, but also they've got a very good accessory side of it as well, with their paints, their glues, their tooling, all very well done. And Revell are kind of taken on that, but they're not doing so well with it, unfortunately. That's how I see it. But yeah, so I was kind of disappointed, because I thought this would have been like a new tooling sort of thing, but they're only a tenner. I bought this one for $9.95 at the Scale Model Show.
That's not bad.
But it's still a Matchbox. They've picked I would say they picked a good kit to do it with, but I was left that disappointment, thinking, look at that, that's a fresh box, that is, isn't it?
Yeah. I think, unfortunately, the Sherman the Firefly was probably one of the low points of Matchbox's armor.
Really?
I think the Comet would have been a nicer one.
Comet
was
lovely,
T-34.
Yeah,
they were both nice. Or the Chaffee. The Chaffee was a lovely little kit.
Their Panzer III was lovely as well.
Yeah. Yep.
Really nice.
In fact, the Sherman was the worst of them all.
Fair enough. Yorkshireman Models just said, I think the Revell Sherman set goes for around 20 quid in some online stores. Yeah, as I said, I know that there was a deal on the day, because they had 20 or 30 there in a box, and I should have picked up 2, but I only picked up 1 because I'm a tight ass. But I thought I'd have a go. Jeff says, I'm personally delighted to see Revell re-releasing the old Matchbox tool kits again, introduce them to a whole new generation. Wouldn't they be better off doing their own vintage classic range, not making out to be this first diorama where you can't even actually finish your diorama? That's the hoodwink for me.
I think the problem with it is that Matchbox were always affordable. You know, they were priced so that people could, they were kind of pocket money kits. Revell are not releasing them in that vein. Like somebody said, 20 quid for an old Matchbox 172nd or 176 scale kit is pretty appalling, considering what you can buy as a modeler as a 172nd kit, today from Trumpeter or whoever.
Or the Airfix Firefly. The Airfix Firefly is much better than that.
Yeah.
And it's cheaper than that.
Yeah. But then we go back to that thing, all those in the chat in the panel can, jump in at any point to put your 10 pence worth in. The Firefly, I think they pulled a blinder with getting them in Aldi and Lidl, the Tiger and the Sherman Firefly for 7 quid. And a brand new tooling. The tooling is, 2 year old now, 2020, 2021 it was released. So they knew what they were doing, because I don't think any. Yeah, that's what you've got there, isn't it? Sprue?
Yeah,
That's
it
the one.
is.
There. Is that the Tiger? Is it?
That's the Tiger one.
Yeah.
Start set.
How did you get on with the paint?
Yeah.
Don't do that.
That's about what I do with it.
Yeah. I've not had much luck with the paints that Airfix like generally give out. They're either dried and crispy, or they're just too thick and goopy and horrible. So I use my own.
Yeah.
I'd rather go down the road of knowing I've got a paint that's going to perform as it's meant to,
Yeah.
rather than splodge on, as they say.
Well, this is my Sherman Firefly, and I did it straight from the box, nothing fancy, and that's my paint job on it. And I got an incredibly good result with the paint. So there's a little bit of dirt on the back there, so I wanted to dirty it up a little bit to go on this thing. But if you look at the paint job.
I did the same.
Yeah, that paint job was in a bride. But then again, my only caveat was I used the flat brush. I didn't just use the brush, only that brush in the box. I actually used the flat brush as the top final coat, so it leveled out really, really nice. But I think they're working hard on their paint. It is what it is. It's for hand brushing. It's not for airbrushing.
Yes, correct.
And I think that they should really have a crack at, maybe putting bottles in and not just the tubs, because I think the tubs are the issue when they go a bit hard. So,
Yeah, they on that note, Moss, when we had the Sea King presentation,
yeah,
I was speaking with Dale, and they have all the paint that they have in India. They scrap all of it. So the problem is that the molds and the lids were produced in two different molds, and when you match them, there was that gap. So they have created a new mold with the pot and the lid on the same mold.
Yeah.
So that lid will match that mold. So they scrap all the paints that they had in India and starting from fresh, although it's going to be a rollover till they get to the market properly. But they are on the case and they are fixing the issue.
The paints are better. The paints
are good.
Yeah. But the problem was it was the containers that was ballsed up with them. That was the issue we had.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm still not convinced that making a new mold for the paints, for those little paint pots, is a good investment. I think they'd have been better off to invest in a smaller,
dropper bottle.
Not screw cap,
a dropper bottle. Yeah,
type.
dropper bottle.
As you've seen with those Vallejo ones that Italia do.
Yeah.
ICM paints are like a little pot. There are plenty of ways to do it. I'm not sure that little disposable plastic, because again, it is disposable.
Yeah.
Which isn't great. We don't really want to be creating more, even recyclable plastic to throw away. So, yeah, remains to be seen. I'm not sure that's. I think Italieri, that set that you showed, Moss, because I've been looking at those recently, and that is the way to go. I mean, that is everything you need.
It is.
Yes, it might not be the best quality, but you can just buy that and you can go and make that kit.
Yeah.
That's
how much that retails for?
Is a perfect.
I don't know. Yeah. Say again, Sprue. What you say?
I'd say that the one you have, as to what I have here, is the perfect starter kit.
Yeah.
You've got your cutters, you've got your tweezers, you have your glue, you have your sanding pad, and they've given you a supply of paint in a decent container.
Yeah. But at what cost, though? If this is I have no idea what this costs. If anybody can look it up and find one for me for sale.
They're not actually that much. I think they're 18, 19 euros.
Are they really?
Yeah. Somebody's already said in chat there that they've seen that kit 16 English pounds.
Have they?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was the tank. I thought that was the tank they were talking about.
Oh, I do apologise.
As I said, they sent me the kit with a catalogue, and but on the invoice it doesn't say what the RRP was for this. But I've not seen them in this country yet.
No, you can buy them from their website, but
Yeah. But I'd like to know how much, as I said,
I stand corrected, Moss. 30 euros.
They're about
30 euros for that.
Right, let's have a look.
Now, is that worth 30 euros? Seeing, okay, that Lockheed Martin Lightning 2 that Sprue and Glue has from Airfix has 2 brushes, 4 paints. Is it 4
Six.
paints? Six paints, and that shitty cement.
That gloopy cement.
That gloopy cement. See on here, I think they've actually got like a bottle of. You see that there's. Oh, let me get you bigger. Let me get myself bigger. The actual glue is a pot of glue. There it is. There's a pot of glue there. I don't really want to open. Oh fuck! Let's open it. Let's just have a quick look. I won't open it for you. I'll just get what you get. There you go. Well, there's the toolkit there. So you get a brush, you get the sprue cutters, and you get the sanding stick, which is exactly the same as the Airfix one.
Yeah, the umbrella one.
Yeah.
Okay, so, but where's the glue to? Let's find the glue in here. Need to find the glue. Find the glue. Here's the glue. Look at that. Hang on. They've given you a pot of glue here, cement. Look at that. And it comes with a little applicator brush as well. So it's basically the size of what I would call if you're a woman, and I don't know how I know this, but well, I have been married. Nail polish. It's a little 5mm pot. Now that is glass. Let's have a look, shall we? Oh, hang on. It's very thin. It's very thin, and it smells like polish as well. So
A good bit of acetone in there.
yeah, I don't think you see it in the camera. It's a very wet liquid. You see it move there? It's a very wet liquid. It's
So it looks like it's closer to like a Tamiya extra thin.
Yeah.
It looks like that.
Actually, usable glue.
A usable glue
Yeah.
in there.
Shocking.
Moss,
So, yes,
the Italieri gift set F16 is 30 quid. In
30
field
quid.
glory models.
Yeah.
they've got them, have they?
Can you see
But
that?
what's the? Oh yeah, I can see that. Yeah, let me get you bigger a minute. Let me get you bigger.
$29.99 is.
$29.99.
Yeah.
But what is the kit inside it? Though? I won't open it any further. But what is the kit inside? When did the Tannery tool an F16 CD? Then you know what I mean.
It's probably their ancient tooling of the F16.
Yeah. Scale makes time, innit? Scale makes
Yeah, it
time.
is. I'll just check it and see it, but I'm pretty sure it is.
1980, I think.
Jeez.
1980. So this is a complete set for modelling, but is it really then a starter set? Because can you imagine somebody who's never built a model before?
Although it does say complete set, it doesn't say starter set.
No, that's a fair. But if you want a starter, when you have at least 3 of those tools already, you would have had a knife, not necessarily a sprue cutter, but a knife and a pair of tweezers, and probably you would have had some sandpaper or glass paper.
Personally,
Not
that's a waste of
necessarily.
money.
But as I said, that Lightning 2 is 20 quid from Airfix, but that's a brand new tool. That is the mother of all, and it's designed for the starter, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, for me, the starter set should be designed with the new modeler in mind. Like this gift set is for new modelers. Otherwise, we wouldn't bring tweezers and Sprue Cutters. We all have that.
Yeah.
Plenty of them are on the bench, you know. Having a 1980 F16 that probably will give you a bloody headache.
Yeah.
Sprue cutters that will shoot the plastic, and tweezers that don't work, because that plastic tweezer, I don't think is going to work. It's not going to bring anyone to the hobby. It's going to just send him away. And I know we complain about Airfix with the glue and everything, but if you're careful enough, you get a decent result with the glue from Airfix. You can do a starter set. I'm building one now for the starter set challenge, and it's been a treat. Obviously, I have to be with a toothpick to spread the glue and all the things, but I would invest 10 quid of my money on an Airfix starter set rather than 30 quid on that F16.
The difference is our Airfix complaints are more quibbles and nitpicks, whereas it feels like the others are actual legit complaints. Does that make sense?
Yeah. But then again, this is a starter set from Airfix, right?
Yeah.
So you can buy from Aldi or Lidl for £6.99. No starter would ever build that because it's a headache in itself. It is tiny parts. It's a tiny little. I'm struggling, but
It's really
if I was a starter and I had to go at building that and end up with something no bigger than your thumb, it's. But I like this thought of having a complete set for modelling, which brings me to that Revell did do something similar to that, and I've got one here, but it's massive. I'll go and get it. It's absolutely massive.
Like if you could find a middle range between those two, between having the nice glue, workable paints, but with kits that are, designed with the beginner in mind, that would be a winner.
Yeah.
That is a big key, isn't
But
it?
man,
For the beginning.
I've done a video on starter set where you get the Aldi Mitsubishi Zero for $6.99, and then you get the sprue cutters, the tweezers, the files, and everything. All together was 27 quid. And you actually get a kit that is assemblable and is not going to give you a headache.
oh nice, Moss.
So this is the Revell. Well, it's not really a starter set. It's basically it's an advent calendar.
Yeah.
And basically, every day you get a different part. So in there, some days you get those tools there, okay, and then you get your paints, your brushes, and your decals. But the one thing you don't get is glue because it's a quick, what's it called? Easy kit system.
Snap kit.
Yeah, snap kit. So they do something similar. I think that's 35 quid, if I'm not mistaken. It's 35 quid. But I think,
To me, though, Moss, a snap kit isn't a starter kit because it doesn't. I think a starter kit has to introduce you to the elements of the hobby because they may well have done other things like Airfix Quick Build or a Revell Snap Tight or whatever they call it. So it has to be something that you glue together, something that you do need to cut bits off the sprue, and get some of those. You don't have to do it well as a starter. Your first time, you're probably going to fuck things up. Let's be clear about it. But I think it does have to introduce you to those elements at least.
Yeah. That's interesting. Somebody said, what about the cutting mat? They should have put a little cutting mat in it. That would have really made it. What?
A little A6 one.
Shout. That isn't a bad shout, is it?
Let's put a price up to 45 quid.
Yeah. I remember
at the end of the day, what's wrong with using an old newspaper?
Yeah.
Well, I get that, but also on the flip side, when I scratched the dining room table as a child, my backside, I had a new arsehole ripped from mother. Do you know what I mean? So, or maybe play, but yeah, you're quite right. What about come out? Now, somebody just said that it's actually illegal for Airfix to sell these kits to anyone under the age of 18. That's not true at all. Then that's not true. The only kits that Airfix struggle to sell to people under the age of 18 is the quick build Coca-Cola kits because you can't advertise sugary drinks to anyone under the age of 18. So if you look on the Airfix website and you see the Beetle with the Coca-Cola stickers on, it says not 18 plus. An 18 plus, I'm expecting a pair of boobs in there or something like, you can't sell that to kids. But no, because to be fair, the cement is a hazard, but it's not, not because it says here, it's not suitable for children under the age of 8. And if an Airfix kit has photo etching, you can't sell it to anybody under the age of 14 because photo etch is sharp.
To be fair, most shops won't sell glue. unless they're over 18. It's more that I think than.
Yeah, I'm not. But the starter sets, I don't know. But yeah, I wanted to say here what age limit has it got on here? They must have an age limit on here, surely. It only tells you exactly. Oh yeah, for adult collectors age 14 or over, which I presume is because you've got the sharp implement.
Cutters, haven't you?
Yeah, I think it's like the trade, like a trading law.
Yeah,
Stuff like solvents and glues and all that stuff have to be sold to persons over 18 unless they're accompanied by an adult.
yeah. But
I think more than anything, I think it just covers shop owners' arses basically more than
it's
anything
liability.
else. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, that's the one I'm after. Yeah,
It's one of the reasons I've got loads of people going by the shop, nosy people saying when they're going to be open, when is it, all that kind of stuff.
Well, they're peeping toms.
A couple of people with kids are just like, oh, is it going to be a toy shop? And I'm just like, no, it's not. And in fact, you're not going to be able to come in as a kid. So I'm going to have basically a sign, if you're under 16, basically no unaccompanied adults, for minors without an adult. For that reason, because there's solvents, there's blades, there's all that kind of stuff. And as a shop owner, liability insurance is horrific.
Yeah,
so,
it's the same here in the States.
The easiest thing is to exclude, which is not that bad really, because if you think as a child we got into the hobby, or a lot of us got into the hobby with an adult who was modelling. That's how we kind of got that first interest. So it's not like 8-year-olds are wandering into shops these days and picking up kits by themselves, really.
I can't get over how many people have reboxed this Vulcan.
It's a pretty ubiquitous kit, that F16.
I tell you something, I'm struggling it. Even there's a company called Hobbycraft.
Yeah.
That even released it. Which is that the Hobbycraft, as in the shop Hobbycraft?
No, Hobbycraft.
No.
Hobbycraft is a company.
Hobby crashed.
Yeah. But even Trumpeter.
They're a company. Trumpeter, yeah.
Trumpeter even released it back in the 2000s. So that tooling has been pretty much well used over those years, and they even released it back in 2019. So what is that kit now then? And so if that fuck off is 122 quid, piss off. So Sigel mates have got one there. Somebody's offering it for 122 pounds. That can't be right. So yeah.
It is right on there, man.
Rephrase. They're trying to offer it for it.
Yes.
They can ask
I
whatever
was
they want.
wondering how much this is compared to just buying the kit outright as a standalone. It can't be more than 12 knickers, surely. Is anybody selling the CD Lightning? I don't know.
I think the Italieri standard F16 is on Amazon for about $18.99, isn't it?
So for an extra tenner, you're getting all those tools, those paints, and that special.
That's why I don't think it's that bad. It's not bad.
I think it's. I mean, if it was €30 converted into pounds rather than just sticking a pound sign instead of the euro, so it would be like 27, something like that. That's not bad.
No.
I don't think it's a particular. I mean, that F16 is. I think the reason it was tooled a lot was that it was recognised as, at the time, a pretty decent F16 kit. It was kind of the standard that people went to for a reasonable price as well, I guess, because if you're reboxing Tamiya, if they'd let you, I guess they'd charge a lot. So it's not a bad kit, but I think in terms of a starter kit, I think they got the idea right, but I think the choice of subject, I think Fenris said this, is just as important. It has to be a balance. You can't just put all of the bits together with any old kit and expect it to be, starter friendly. You've got to have something that eases. Yes, it uses all those modeling skills that you're going to develop, but it has to be at a fairly basic level. You can't have hundreds of tiny bits, and
it has to be a kit
track links on a tank or something.
It's got to be a kit that somebody who's new to the hobby is going to enjoy building.
Right.
And there's elements of it needing to be engineered to be friendly. But there's also something to be said, and maybe this is where they were going with this, is that like I know for me, it's very easy for me to forgive issues on kits that are of subjects that I am more interested in building, right? Like if a kid walks in, they know what an F-16 is. They're not going to necessarily go, oh, Gannett, I want to go build that. But an F-16, I know what an F-16 is, right?
Yeah.
So there's I can imagine that was part of where they were going with that choice as well. But
I think it's a really important point. Definitely, because if you look at the other ones they've gone for, they're very similar. Like they've got an Abrams, they've got a Eurofighter.
Yeah,
they're recognizable subjects. They have to be recognizable.
Right. So quickly, a quick look on the F-16 I'm seeing on Google. Scale model shop. That's F-18. Sorry. What's that? There's one F-16. Yeah. So the Atari 172 F-16 from Fields of Glory is £29.99. Now other than that, there's nobody seems to have any for sale apart from old toolings going for about 20 quid on eBay. 20 quid. There's one there for 18 quid. See, the 148 Fighting Falcon. The 148 is £31. But there doesn't seem to be anybody who seems to. You can get a PM Models F-16 for £5.73, but we'll say no more about that.
No, you don't want it. You don't touch that. I've got one of those.
Oh,
No.
fucking dog shit. We're just looking. Oh, and there's one there. A Night Falcon, a Tallery on eBay, £12.84.
Can you see that, Moss? That's on Amazon.
That's on eBay, that is.
No, this one's on Amazon.
Oh, is it? How much is that one for?
It's going for £26.61p.
Is that one? It's not 148 then. That's 172.
172.
And that's what got the tools in it then.
No, it's just a standard kit.
Right. Because the one I've seen on eBay is £12.84.
Yeah, but
no.
often shot stuff cheap, and it might even be an auction sale.
Yeah, well, I just realised it's £15 postage from outside the UK.
Oh, there you go.
So it's from France, yeah. But if it's from France and it's going for about 13 quid, I think that's a pretty good.
Yeah, that sounds about right. 15.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
But as I said, if this one's £29 for all that, and you get Vallejo paints that you can seal up in a dropper bottle. Mate, so you've got the two sides to it all now, haven't you? You've got an old kit, 1980s, which is basically a Revell sort of system, but they're blinding you with all these extra tools. Or do you spend 30 quid and buy that, or that 20 quid and buy that Lightning from Airfix that has, the paints and the brushes, and then just and get some sandpaper and get some sprue cutters or knife to cut them off the sprue. So,
but I think to that point, I think if you're going to a model shop like mine, who can advise you and buy those extra bits, that's fine. But otherwise, if you are a 14-year-old or 15-year-old or whatever, and you are on your own in a, let's call it BT's or something, that kind of equivalent shop, and you see an Airfix starter kit, you think, I'm going to go that and buy it, you get it home, and then realise you've got nothing to cut it off the sprues with, and you need a knife for it, and you don't know about sanding and stuff. That's not actually going to bring you into the hobby either. So I think the idea of having everything, just right there in the box is a really good one. I think it's absolutely the right thing. But and if you look at the subjects that Italieri are doing, actually, they've got a little download on their website. I've just looked at. They've got next issues are going to be the Stuka JU87 and the King Tiger. Again, they're very iconic kind of kit that they're going for.
Yeah.
So I think if you've got the kind of again, I don't know how old those moldings are. I mean, Airfix's starter kits have got some really iconic releases as well. Spitfire 5B. You've got Messerschmitt, Focke-Wulf. If you just have the extra bit of having those extra things with it, they'd be kind of perfect. And I think Italieri ones, if they've got the kind of the one half, but not kind of the kit parts. So I don't think anybody's got starter kits right yet. I think it does need to be complete, but. So many things going.
That's wild, though, considering how long.
Sorry, say it again, Fenris.
I'm just saying it's wild to me. Like I agree with that statement, but it's wild to me considering how long starter sets have been a thing, right? Like you would have thought by now that somebody would have stumbled their way into that.
I've got a theory. I've got a complete theory into why starter sets have never come with a complete tool range, because they're aiming for a price point.
Yeah.
And that's what Airfix
Cheapest
have
possible.
done.
Yeah, I mean,
They've
that is
aimed
part of it
for
too.
a
Yeah.
price point. You know, and it was always the way. You know, down here, underneath here, I've got the Aston Martin DB5. This is the old one, which is a starter set.
Yeah.
This was classed as a larger starter set because you had more than that. But this one was retailing for around £24-25 in shops. And it's an awful kit. You ask anyone who's tried to build it, you know, fortunately they've done a new one now, haven't they? Which is, what's that, around like 15 quid, 16 quid, if I remember.
Smaller scale, though, isn't it?
You know, have I got it on my bench still? No, I haven't got it on my bench. It's on the side somewhere. But yeah, you know, I think Airfix are going in the right direction, actually designing kits with brand new fresh tooling for people who've never built a model kit before. On the flip side of it all, Revell, when it comes to their first diorama, I still rate Revell and Airfix are about the same when it comes to the instructions on how to build the kits, because that's another issue that you have. You know, what is it like in this one? What is the actual instructions like in this one? You know, is it always, to be fair, or the decals are nice as well, but you know, they're tiny decals. There's a lot of them there, a lot of but just looking at the instructions, there you go, that's the instructions there. I can go bigger a minute and just go bigger. They've actually you know, it's one big long bit of paper. Start from there and then move along. It's not, it doesn't tell you where to glue or nothing like the Airfix ones do. Do you know what I mean? The Airfix ones tell you where to put the glue and how to cut the tabs off, and gives you a quick guide on how to build a model kit. But this one hasn't got that.
I think the Airfix F35 instructions were the perfect set of starter instructions.
Oh yeah.
In fact, as I said on video, I think they kind of set the standard for normal modelers. I think that would be useful to have some of those features in more complex kits.
Yeah.
And those fold-out sheets, I hate them. Why don't more people do booklets?
Yeah. It must cost more money to do it like that, because that isn't a standard A4 sheet, is it?
No, it's not.
You know, it must cost more money to do that, unless they can, you know, they're rolling it out on a road and just printing both sides at the same time. But surely an A4 sheet would have been a lot more better, and you know. And
it probably is, Moss. It's probably just one sheet, double printed, folded by a machine, so it's probably cheaper. Booklet, you've got to assemble it. So.
Yeah, I get that. What was I saying then? Yeah. Then my then 9-year-old loved the new starter set Red Arrow. Very simple to build. It's a cracking build. The King Tiger, apparently from Italy, is the Esky one from 1974.
That's right.
Quite a nice model though.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, they need to fucking tell you what the age of the tooling is on the box. I think Airfix is so on the ball with that.
Yeah, but Moss, you know, when you were saying before, you were saying that Revell and Airfix are sort of on a par with one another.
With instructions, yeah.
Well, as a product, I totally disagree, because I think Revell produce and they market products pretending that they're Revell products.
Yes. I get you on that, yeah.
I mean, I've got a kit up here. It's an IS2 brand new release Revell kit. And the mold, it actually says new on the box.
Yeah.
The mold's actually 16 years old. It's an ICM kit.
I'm just saying, when it comes to instructions, that is more pleasant on the eye.
Yes, I agree with
that. Than an Airfix one.
Yeah.
Now, when the instructions is telling you It doesn't tell you where to put the. That's the only difference. It's not telling you where to put the glue. But
There's another difference, though, and this is my biggest issue with Revell instructions. They take the color number and give it a letter and put the letter at the very beginning, and then make you have to reference that in a booklet form while you're in the middle of building, constantly flipping back and forth. And that
constantly cross-reference and stuff. I agree with that. That's totally right.
Yeah, I was talking about instruction manuals, assembly, and the pleasing to the eye. I get all that because the problem is that it's not the fact. It's the fact that the actual Revell Aqua range is very piss poor in its complete range. There's not that many colors in the range, so you're having to mix and match it. But then I will say this though. They've got the percentages pretty right because I know people who have the Aqua range and they've painted with the percentages, 60% of this or 40% of that and blah, blah. And it's been pretty accurate. You know, they don't muck about with the accuracy sort of thing.
But it's a bit of a faff, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a faff. Of course
it is. But I've kind of got a bit of a different. I'm going to throw a cat among the pigeons. I actually think that's a useful skill to have, rather than just buying a paint that says it's the right color.
I agree.
It makes you think about the color, and it makes you think more like an artist.
Yeah,
but get used to using color, which I think is a useful skill. I'm not sure you should have that in a starter kit, mind.
Yeah,
but in addition to that, though, I mean. Like Tamiya, they do the same thing. They just say do 2 parts, 3 parts, or whatever, and they can include it right there on the page where I can see it when I'm at that step. You know, and this is Tamiya, who has 500,000 different colors.
Is it COVID-1? Whatever it's sorry, I don't know how to say that, but the new Airfix Red Arrow starter set that came out 2 years ago is beans, mate. It's really good. Not the old one, the new one is beans. So I think
there's a significant difference.
Iconic World War II tracks, World War II like Tiger Sherman shirt. I don't blame the big 5 companies for going where the money is. At least Airfix have a massive back catalogue of rare stuff still in production. Yeah, but they also tell you the age of the tooling as well. That's the argument we're having, is that I bought that first diorama thinking fresh box, looks lovely, brand new range from Revell, and it's a kit that they don't even fucking make. They bought it off somebody, went bust.
Yeah, but this is what Revell's like. They do it all the time.
Yeah.
One of the things I really like about Airfix as a company, and I can't ever remember anyone commenting on the fact that this is true, is that Airfix have retooled so many of their old tool models.
Yeah.
And it's like they're bringing out the vintage classics, but they're not just sitting on the profits. They're reinvesting them and improving the product.
Yeah.
To bring modelers new subjects and retooled subjects. And they're one of the few companies that are so prolific at doing this at the moment.
Well, to be fair, vintage classic isn't Airfix. You realise that, don't you?
No, but the old tools of Airfix, they're old tools.
Well, basically, it's all the tools that was pre-Hornby owned. That's what they say, and that they actually got. Because I'm still waiting to find out whether they've got the BAC 111. Because actually, I did a box of that the other week.
I remember seeing it.
Oh, what a lovely cut! Oh, it looks great.
It's a beautiful kit. Yeah, it is.
Anyway, bye. But Airfix Vintage Classic is an actual brand within itself. It's not, the Airfix team kind of look over it.
No.
But the profits and everything, and the make marketing is all done as something of a nostalgia piece. So that's where that comes in. But this is what Revell need to do. So instructions that identify the components are appreciated as well in order to promote the interest in engineering and mechanical things in general. Hallelujah! I don't know every part of a tank. I don't know every part. Coupler, the track, the gearing, the road wheels. I get all that.
Moss,
I don't know.
That 111 kit you've got, is that a red stripe kit?
It's a red stripe.
Get the instructions out and have a look at them.
Yeah. They're terrible.
Just have a look at them.
Yeah.
Those instructions will tell you what every single part in that model is called.
Really?
Yeah, have a look at them. There's text boxes underneath the instructions.
You can tell he didn't use the instructions to build it then.
Oh no, he wouldn't have. No.
There's
Can you see at the bottom of the instructions? You've got text. Part
Yes,
number,
it's a script. It's a script, isn't it?
There you go. That will tell you what every single part in that kit is called.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That is
And
amazing.
I think
that format
AMG does that with their car kits, or they did for a little bit.
They
Yeah.
did it with everything up until about
A Revell does.
Type 4 boxes. When they went over to the card kits and the Type 4 boxes, they just did exploded.
That-
views.
That's
They got
right,
rid of
yeah.
all of that text, which
Yeah.
was
There you go. Locating cement forward bulkhead in place between the ribs in front of starboard fuselage half.
There you go.
No engraved arrow indicates bottom. So there must be an arrow on that one. Yeah, there's an arrow on it. Which they do that on the starter sets anyway. There's an arrow.
Yeah.
See that in the light? There's an arrow there. So and I do wish, as I say, there's a lot of stuff I don't know about tanks, particularly planes. I'm getting better at. But other than that, it's but I can.
Cars are the big one for me.
To be fair, it's quite a
Cars.
simple little build. In theory, you could add that to a starter set, add paints to it, and
You
run
could,
it. Yeah, it's quite a nice little kit. I get that. Instructions and that. The problem with Revell have loads of instructions, part numbers, and paint numbers mistakes. It drives you mad. Yes, that's true.
Revell QC is not great.
No, but if you got a problem, they will send it out to you within six to 7 working days.
What, they'll send the problem out to you?
If you have a problem, they will sort it for you within 6 to 7 days. I had a decal sheet missing. Well, I still had a decal missing. It wasn't. It was stuck under the flap in the box. But they don't know that now. For a Star Wars kit, and they sent me the decal sheet. They no queries. They just said, "Yeah, what's your address?" And they got shit from Germany over in 6 or 7 working days.
Yeah, but the difference I think with what Yorkshire is saying is that a lot of times Revell will say use part A10. In reality, it's like P24. It'll be completely the wrong numbering.
Yeah. Revell 124th new Beetle snap kit. What a gem is it? Is that a new one? Is it? Has that just come out recently? Is it? I think that's been out for a while, isn't it? The Beetle, it's a snap kit. I think snap kits have a place. Don't get me wrong. I've got a Revell.
I will say, I also do like to define the difference between like snap tight and snap fit, because like snap tight, right? Like that's the Revell brand one that we all think of when we think of snap fit kits. And usually when we think of the negatives and the bads of that quality, it's because it's the Revell snap tight that we think of. But like if you pick up any Bandai kit, they're all going to be snap fit, and their fit is immaculate. The plastic is amazing. The parts are on point. They are perfect for beginners just because everything is there in a very good way. But you don't need glue. They are snap fit.
Shut up, Taboli girl. Why are you on the chat tonight? Are you feeling? Are you all right, mate? You're not serious. Are you feeling better? It's Mozza Vintage Classic.
He's got friends round.
Has he already still on here? That says a lot, doesn't it?
I texted him.
He's forcing them all to watch.
Chef 88, anyone know how Miss Modler is doing? She's doing absolutely brilliantly. She's absolutely top of the world. If you go over to her channel, she has put up a community post for you all to read on how she is. It's not for me to comment on her personally, just to say that we're in contact with her. And she has put a post up on the community, on her wall on YouTube for you to have a look at. So go over there and have a look. But as far as we're concerned, she's an absolute fucking legend, bless her heart. So it would be nice if old Revell Classics Arizona received a bit of an update. It won't happen. It's Revell. They probably haven't made the tooling themselves anyway. You know what I mean? So
that's why they don't update them. They don't
update them. But as I said to you, I don't know what steel they used in the tooling. The Matchbox kits, when they get released, seem to be crisp and nice, like they were tooled back in the 70s.
It's telling, isn't it, Moss, that the nicely tooled, crisp moldings that Revell puts out, the old ones, aren't theirs. You know, you can usually identify whether a Revell kit is their own or not by whether it's any good.
Well, it's like the Jaguar, the 124th Jaguar, was it the 132nd Jaguar they released about 4 years ago? You never see that in the shops for sale now, though, do you? There was a folk with the with a lot of, what do they call it, marks and stuff. Terrible. You don't. I think they scrapped that tool. I don't see it for sale as much as I used to. It's gone. So
it's a shame because Revell are capable, or at least used to be capable, of producing some really nice kits.
well, name me a good Revell kit.
The Heinkel HE11177 Greif, the
that's
the
lovely.
Arado E555, the Flitzer, all the stuff they did from sort of 94 to about 2010, maybe.
2010,
No,
I'm going to say,
2005.
yeah.
I will say their 570S, McLaren 570S was a really good kit.
Yeah, that was a good kit. Yeah.
So they have done really nice kits, but they insist on doing a lot of reboxes, a lot of reboxes of old stuff as new, and then calling it. It's like the lack of clarity. There is so much. Some real people defend Revell, Revell fanboys. There are far fewer of them, I think, than Tamiya and Airfix and others.
Yeah.
And there's a lot more people that will say, you mentioned Revell and their faces fall, they'll grumble, they've got stories. Because of that, they've built themselves the reputation, and it comes from a real place. It's not just people ragging on Revell because they don't like them.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what I laughed at, and I didn't notice this until someone commented something on my video, and I felt like watching the video back through. I did a monogram, Dornier 117, and I was watching the video back, and I didn't realise it didn't click at the time. Because I had to scrub off, because Revell always put stamped on the outside of the date, their name and the date. Yeah. And it was on the tail, and it was Revell, and it didn't click at the time. And it took me a second watching it and going, hang on, this is monogram, not Revell. And it was actually a Revell kit, which surprised me because it was the other way around. I just thought it was really weird, but it just didn't click at the time.
Mm.
And that wasn't a bad kit, to be fair. It was quite an old one, but it was not bad.
John Ashley Smith, I've been searching to find Airfix vintage classes because they are from an era when I began modelling and missed but always wanted, knowing full well the issues that such old toolings have. Exactly. It's nostalgia, mate. Why do you think I'm enjoying building the bomb bug? Because I missed it the first time round. It wasn't even released again. I only ever saw it in my 20s scale model shows, and there were quite a lot of money back then. And then till recently, there would be many nights in the last 2 or 3 years I've looked at that eBay listing and think I'll buy that for 300 quid just for the go of having a go at it. But again, they found the tooling and away it was. So, yes. Also, Revell stopped putting any history in the instructions. And Airfix Strength has a good bit of history to get the interest going. That's a fair shout. Very fair shout. Revell decals are substandard compared to others. They still have the red dots in roundels as a separate decal.
Yes, they do.
Yeah. Is there a reason for that? Is it because they were? I don't see.
It's so you can guarantee the register, because a lot of times when you had decal sheets, the register, the red dot was awful.
And it had to do with the more colors you added to the decal sheet, the more likely the register would get off. So they would usually stack 2 colors, and if there was a third color, it would be a separate decal.
The Revell V2C cracking kit in 1/72 scale. Never built that one. The 1350 Bismarck from Revell is still the best Bismarck kit in any scale.
I'll agree with that.
I'm not sure.
Plastic Monkey, I know, mate. How are you, Paul? I build mainly Revell. I know a lot are reboxes. Yeah. And I don't, and that's the way it goes, isn't it? If you fall onto something that you like, you keep on building it. And if you like the challenge, here's a quick one. Now that Dave there, Sprue and Glue, has put his little dingo up on the screen there. Tamiya don't do what's wrong one? Where you are? God, yeah, you've jumped on there you go, you've moved up one for some reason. You've got one on my list. Is there any reason why Tamiya don't do starter sets, do you think?
I think they just target as can't think of a better word really, but like an experienced modeller's kit.
Yeah.
I think because they've always been very detailed, engineered and all that. And I think they just purposely aim at like being more of an experienced model than anything else. I think.
On the flip side, I was just going to say was Tamiya's 148 armor range, like that dingo that would make great starter sets.
Yeah.
Well, and what's surprising is because they have starter sets for their RC stuff, for their mini 4-wheel drive stuff. Like, they have starter sets, but for their other hobbies. And that's always been curious to me.
Yeah. But as I said, when you think of it, when I think Champion Scale Modeler reckons that if you, for a starter, a 148 plane from Tamiya is the best way of getting into scale modeling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah, I think I would, to be honest.
I disagree with that statement.
Well, nobody cares what you think. So.
I completely disagree with that. But again,
to be honest, because I've built a lot of Tamiya's. I'm one of the Tamiya's fanboys, to be fair, and I think their kits generally, like I said, I think a lot of their kits are built engineered really well, and they tend to fit pretty much like 90% of the time.
But the instructions are a little bit harsh, though, aren't they?
Yeah, they can be sometimes, I think, but I don't know. For a build, I think they go together really nicely.
I think, I agree with that statement 100%. I think one of my, I don't want to say issues per se, but I guess hesitations is because Tamiya is touted as much as they are by being the shake and bake kits, that people think that they are infallible and unable to have issues. And that isn't the case. And I think that if people hear, Tamiya's perfect, they're the best, and now they have starter sets as a beginner, I need a Tamiya, and then they get one that does have a little bit of a, idiosyncrasy to it, for lack of a better phrase, like that could hit weird, I guess.
Yeah.
There's something to be said about walking into a Revell kit knowing Revell is crap, and walking into a kit thinking it's going to be amazing and it being okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I think for a starter kit, they would have to go to keep the price point reasonable for them. It would be an old mold. Or an
exactly.
Old
tool.
We don't know
they're not bad.
Which I don't think is inherently bad. Again, for a starter, a one.
Yeah.
I would again go with the 148 Tamiya aircraft because the parts are bigger. The older ones don't tend to have that many parts. It doesn't have to be a perfect fit for a starter, as long as it fits. As long as it's not like warped and doesn't go together, because then you would absolutely put anybody off.
I think even their old kits still go together well. Personally, that's me. I mean, like I said, we all have different ideas and different experiences, but I personally think they go really well.
But the thing with that, Sal, is that we know what we're doing. Oh, I tend to believe that I know what I'm doing. Don't get me wrong.
I have no idea what I'm doing. I can promise you that I never know what I'm doing. I just turn up.
We all know if he makes a mistake, he hides it with a bird's nest, anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, I went and got it. I went in for a cup of tea. I thought, while I'm there, I'll get it.
I get it. The thing with the 48 scale is that if there is a mistake, it will be amplified, and the scale model will be a lot more frustrated. I had a couple of persons on my Discord building Tamiya because they are the perfect kits. They started with 48 scale, and they came to me and I'm frustrated. I thought Tamiya was great, and said, right, is your first kit? Yes. Right, let's do this. Let's start doing a 70-second Spitfire from Airfix, for example. And we done that. And then we evolved to another 70-second scale model. And when they built up the confidence, right, now you move to Tamiya. And they moved to the 48 and go, right, the skills we got from the 70-second makes all the difference on the 48, and we are enjoying a lot more at the moment.
And that's exactly what I was meaning, what I was saying about how people can get sold into Tamiya being this perfect thing, and then...
Yeah.
Again, for me personally, and I'm guilty as charged if you guys suspicious me, I think Airfix starter sets are the best ones to start a person to start on scale modeling. They go well together. They have a few issues, but they are 70-second scale. They're not so noticeable if you build in them. And if you ask for advice, they are easily fixable. And then you can transfer those skills to the bigger airplanes. And then from there, yes, Tamiya is good. I can't refute that. But for a starter, for a person starting their first kit, I don't think it's advisable. But
I think the problem with that, though, is that they're not starter sets. The kits, I agree, are perfect starter kits. But the kits that they're producing at the moment, the sets they're producing aren't starter sets.
So that's what I was just going to say. Was I was going to quickly go through the comments that people have left, because I think they're quite important. Like Lord Bodford said, Tamiya kits are lovely, but are a bit complicated for a novice. Now, for one thing, schemes and painting schemes would be, some of them are very, very difficult. And I'm not,
Yeah.
and some of those decals.
I was about to say the decals.
Yeah.
So you got that. Going down through, old simple Tamiya kits from the 70s are a good start because they're simple and fit well. That's right, in the 70s they were. For instance, like they said, the Tamiya Brewster would be great as it has maskings and is easy to build. Correct, quite so. But again, when you're talking about painting it up, that's another part of it. People are saying here that the Tamiya 135th Panzer II, perfect starter set. I kind of agree.
with that.
One coat. That's all you need. One color brush, and you're done, aren't you, on that one? So that's a fair shout. 35 euros on it. Oh, sorry, that's not what I'm looking for. Is it going down a bit? Looks like any. I've lost the. Where is it going? I've lost one of these. Anyway, somebody was saying, oh yeah, for a simple low impact, low intensity build, I like those Tamiya 1-100 scale aircraft. Again, very, very good. So
Can't go wrong with the 1-700, right?
And the Tamiya Walker Bulldog tank is a good kit for those. Again, one color for the body and a grey for the tracks. I get all that.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly right. And I think people have got a really good point with that. With Tamiya, we're talking tanks here, but are we then saying that what would be the perfect way for a scale modeler to actually build a kit? Well, I presume for me would be that the bits come already painted and all you do is stick them together and you've got yourself a model. Or do you get a model that's already built for you and then all you got to do is paint it? Wouldn't that be the best way of getting into scale modeling? Just putting it out there.
No, because you're not getting all the skills. You're not getting the whole experience. I don't think
you're not learning by doing.
Yeah, as somebody who loves snap builds, that's kind of already painted.
Just buy a set of Legos will be simple.
To me, you see that lightning in front of you? He's building a lightning there, right? To me, that is an ideal starter kit because it's easy to put together. You're going to need to put filler in it, but it's quite easy to apply and sand down. It's perfect.
Yeah.
And it was a starter
and again, my thing is, and the thing is, go with a smaller scale that is not Tamiya, so you can build up your skills. That's all.
What
I
about
keep
the Tamiya 172nd aircraft then?
So
they're still over engineer.
They do a nice Super Sabre D, don't they?
Their P-51, the Korea version, it's not over engineered. It's pretty. I think that would make a pretty solid starter.
The 48 scale?
No, the 72nd.
Never built. I built the 48 one, and I have issues. The F-51, the Korea version.
Right,
but
the 172nd one didn't, though, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, but if you compare the Spitfire, I built the 72nd Spitfire from Tamiya and the 72nd scale from Airfix. Totally two different monsters.
Just
that's exactly it. The FX one was designed as a starter kit, wasn't it?
There you go. That's my point. For you to build up the skills.
Well, this is it. If anybody said to me, Moz, I'm just starting scale modeling, can you give me a model kit to build? Don't worry about paint, just to build, so I can get into it. I would send them a Hobby Boss Easy Authentic kit, like that 172 Bearcat. You don't even have to glue the wings together. The wings are already together. All you do is put the engine on, put the seat in, I think, put the wings on, and then the undercarriage underneath, and it's pretty, and the fins at the back. It's all done for you. All you got to do then is paint it blue. And it's
having now built 7 of the Hobby Boss Easy Assembly stuff, I agree with that wholeheartedly. These are amazing little kits. I really love them.
Yeah. But then again, you're cutting down, 8 pieces? Part count surely must come into it on a starter set, gentlemen. Surely part count must come involved in it as well.
But, I mean, when talking about a starter who's never done anything before, having a reasonably low part count, I think, is is important. You want to get
Great.
all the skills. You want to get. It's whetting the appetite, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
like a meal. You know, it is a starter. You don't want something that is going to fill you up. You want something that gets you wanting more. So then you can go to your second kit, your third kit, and then end up with a stash of 700 like we did.
Like I mean, like right here, this is for their Gloucester Meteor, not Meteor, God, Gladiator, and it's 3 sprues. One of the sprues is a single piece, and then 2 large pieces, and that's it. And that's for a biplane, right? Like, if you can cut that down for a biplane, right?
It's a bit like the old tool Gladiator, isn't it, from Airfix?
Yeah.
That's a task and a half to get as a decent build, to say the least.
Yeah, but you can put it together in 10 minutes.
I actually think if you're going to do a perfect starter kit, they need to look at the kits themselves rather than what they're going to put in the box.
Yeah.
I agree.
I mean, a
having
lot
kits
of it
that are
now. I mean, everybody's gone on about old tooling being used for starter kits. If you're wanting to get somebody into a hobby, you need to be on the ball and up to date with what is out there that can be used for a model.
And when they're like tooled from the ground up for starter sets, you know.
Yes.
But this is the question, you know. Say like this is an old Airfix starter set. This is the Willys Jeep, right? 71 pieces, and it's tiny. It's really small to build. The Firefly, this one here, is for me is the perfect starter set for somebody who's never built one. It's one color. It's 31 pieces, and away you go. You know, and they just paint it that one color and get a good. And then you've got the decals.
Like I just said, Mossy, it is old tool.
This is old tool. This is new tool.
That's
No, it's old school.
Old
school,
old school. But what I'm going to say, you know, when you got the starter set, you know, when you got that piece range, I don't think the Bugatti Chiron from the starter set range. I think the painting of that is very complicated for a starter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The red and the black, and then you got, you know, you try and match it up, you know, and without, to build it, fair enough. But when you want to paint it, hand brush paint, it's not the easiest scheme to go for with that black and red.
If I was a 14-year-old kid and I had the choice of a tank from 1942 or a tank from today, I'd want a tank from today.
Yeah.
Because I'm not old enough to understand what tanks of whenever did. Like World War I tanks, World War II tanks. I'm 14 years old.
And I think that's kind of with that whole, with them doing the F-16, right? Like that's a, you know, it's not super modern, but it's not a biplane. It's not
a propeller.
Right.
So is that, but you didn't hand brush that one though, did you?
No, definitely not. No.
But do you not think that's a hard scheme for?
That's a hard scheme. Yes.
Starter set to do, yeah.
Yeah. Especially this.
Yeah.
Silver line on here.
Yeah.
I struggle with it, and you can see that it's not perfect by far, but to get a decent result, you struggle.
Yeah.
But you can get it. You can do it, but as a starter set, doubtful.
See, Jonathan Wilson saying, what about the subject matter? Because most starter kits are World War II based. Yeah, they are. But you've also got to remember that Airfix starter sets are not just just aimed at children. They're aimed at adults as well. People forget. You know, that's why
I think that is an important point, though. Like Sprue Glue said, you know, if what got us excited about models, you know, I wasn't interested in some of the stuff my dad was doing. Like he did some like old ships and things. It's like, because like you say, I had no point of reference for them. I did World War II stuff because I used to watch, you know, World War II movies with him, you know, and that was exciting and stuff. I think the F-35 is a good move from Airfix because, I mean, they're ubiquitous, right? They're current, they're state-of-the-art, they're everywhere. You see them at air shows and things. So, yeah, that makes absolute sense. I think what Italieri are doing with the F-16 and the Abrams is exactly the same, right? I'd love Airfix to do a Challenger 2. You know,
We've said that, we've all said that, but they won't now because they're being sent to the Ukraine and they don't want to do modern warfare. So I kind of get that, I do. But
I think it's as well. Is it a little bit generational as well? Because if you go back in the chat a bit, I've lost his name. Hang on.
Yeah, 92.
Yeah. See, because like I says, because obviously my grandparents and sort of my dad, but my grandparents got me quite a lot into it, and obviously, they're around during the war. Grandad served during the war, and told me about it, and that's how I got into it. You don't have that much anymore.
No,
So most of the people that are getting into it are a lot younger. So from their parents, so they're probably sort of more modern serving. Probably like Cold War, Falklands, Ireland, that sort of era. So their kids are probably getting more into the more modern stuff rather than the old stuff. So,
you would be surprised.
I'll just say that when I first started scale modelling, it was because of what was happening in the near and now, which was space. And space was such a big thing in the early 80s.
Yeah.
So to build the Challenger, it was the Columbia. I can't remember if it was the Challenger or the Columbia. It was one of the seas. One of them got destroyed. I built
Challenger
one.
was first.
Yeah, but Columbia burst up as well. Anything with known as sea, wasn't it? So they're the two that went bang. But I remember building one of them, and then I built a little mini because my dad got a mini kit, and I ended up building that. And then he had the lorry, which I never built, but I saw it. But then I built a Spitfire, and then after then, I thoroughly, because I enjoyed building it, I wanted to build other World War II stuff. And sometimes it just takes that little push in that direction. But as what Alt 92 says, in the early 1960s and 70s, quids are quite simple, so comparable to modern starter quick snap kits. And they were. The tooling back then was very simple, very simple. But also with scale modelers, we want accuracy and we want to create the best model we can with what we're given. It's like I'm still unsure about Coterra and the 132 Spitfire, because the part count is so low, considering when you're paying an extra tenner and getting the Spitfire Mark 20, the Spitfire 124. But a lot of the items is molding on the side of the sprue, on the part, isn't it? On the half of the fuselage, a lot of the little bits already pre-molded on. So that's why. But I'm still not convinced that Coterra have got that Spitfire right when it comes to build. But we're going to digress because we'll talk about starter sets here. But if it was the case of you wanted something similar to build and look good, maybe that would be the way forward, is where they put as much detail in the actual part itself that you don't have to go sticking and gluing in, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. So to be fair though, I just want the comment that Alt 92 was a bit older than that. It was the one says back in our day we grew up with Commando and other World War II stuff. That's the one I was getting at. Sorry, just to on that, but...
I see that. Yeah, I can't see that one.
Not that it really matters.
Yeah,
I think though one of the commenters, David Coombs, just made a really good comment about lots of younger people playing World of War and similar computer games, and you think they are massive. These things. So the exposure to World of Tanks, which is console as well as PC, World of Ships, and all these things. So they are very aware of it, and actually it's more, I guess, ethereal in some ways because it's not as close in time. So they probably don't know many or any people that were actually affected by it directly.
Yeah.
So interesting. I think some of that might just be an appeal thing. Do those kind of things feel more, or is it stuff? I'm surprised though, Moss, that Airfix are shying away from modern warfare stuff, because it's not like they have to take a stance on it, but people are going to be interested in it.
I'm sure that's what Dale said. They weren't interested in doing modern warfare stuff, especially with the Ukraine.
Yeah, I think one of you guys, I was watching the I've forgotten which one was it the Spitfire? I don't know. Well, I think it was the first creative one. Anyway, either way, he did actually mention that. I do remember him saying it.
They don't want to
be fair, though, I do get where he's coming from. I completely understand, and makes a lot of sense. But at the same time, people are interested in more modern stuff, and you know, it will be
Well,
good.
I
Good
think
for
they
Airfix
got,
to
bitten,
do.
they got bitten with
How many
the
YouTube channels have grown up over the Ukraine conflict? How many people are
True.
watching, javelins taking out T-72s and T-60s and stuff?
yeah.
They're interested in what
Right.
Leopard's
The
doing.
The thing is, though, they could still
It's a massive thing.
they can still go modern without being ultra modern.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I mean, like stuff like challenges.
Are sort of like stuck in a rut where, oh, great, we'll release another tank. Oh, let's not do a modern one. Let's go back to 1942, 1943. They need to move some of that further forward, even if it's only to the 70s or the 80s.
I was going to say 60s to 90s. You could do,
Yeah,
because it's not
Chieftain.
too. You know, yeah.
How about a nice chieftain in 35th scale?
see, I was born in the 60s. I didn't have a granddad to talk to about the Second World War, and my dad never spoke to us about it. But what I did know, I only learned because of school. Or like somebody's already said, a war movie.
Did the Sea Kings get sent to the Ukraine? I don't think they did. The Sikorsky.
No, Sea Kings went out of service a few years ago.
Yeah, I was going to say.
A few
they-
years
When
ago.
I thought I remember hearing somebody say that some were sent.
Sea Kings-
Unless someone's got an
sure.
old stash of working ones, but Sea Kings went out.
Yeah.
Western Sea Kings, then, if you want to be pedantic, Western Sea Kings or the RF and Navy ones. they
That
went
might
out
be
of
the
service.
difference.
Yeah, because they went out. I'm going to stab it. I guess it's probably wrong. About 6 years ago, I think. It might be completely wrong. That is, but it's along that sort of within that time frame. Anyway.
He's right, you
Mark
know.
63 is
There
a
is
good
the
point,
UK
though.
sent Sea King helicopter seen operating in Ukraine for the first time.
Oh, well, fair enough. There
Unfortunately,
you go.
news. I never knew that.
No, I don't watch the telly, so
But I don't.
have
But I
no
don't
idea.
think the Sea King is used in modern warfare. I think it's more of a way of getting. Yeah, it's not like a tank that like a Challenger 2. But, because what is the latest tank that Airfix have done? No, sorry, it was Trumpeter. No, is it Trumpeter that's got the Challenger 2? I think it's Trumpeter's got a Challenger 2, and that was the last one to have been tooled. I think because now we've got the Challenger 3 about to come up. Next 2 years, I think the Challenger 3 is back in action. It's going to be in action.
Yeah, but it's funny how people criticize a lot of, British YouTubers about Airfix and about how Airfix concentrate on UK subjects, and yet they haven't done a Challenger 2.
Yeah.
The
only Challenger they've got is in the quick build range, isn't it? That's the only Challenger they've got is in the quick build range.
They did release a 35th scale Challenger 1, didn't they? A long time ago.
Wasn't there tooling though, was it?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't an Airfix tooling.
So was it like Tallery or no? Academy?
It was Academy, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. And you can't buy it no more. But do you think they were? That's because they were burnt so hard with the Operation Herrick and that bloody building that was
Probably.
Mm.
And that
that's why
makes
they
sense.
decided not to go there.
Yeah, they got hammered on that, didn't they?
But then again, look at all the people who got hoodwinked by the ghost of Kiev. Everybody jumped on that frigging bandwagon, and it was a load of bollocks. You know what I mean? And they're still doing it now.
Yeah.
Releasing these kits with and to be fair, does anybody really know what the plane was that they keep saying was a ghost of Kiev? They're just making the decal schemes up as they go along, don't they?
Well, they're basically. I mean, the camouflage scheme is the Ukrainian digital camouflage is cool, right? And now they're saying the ghost of Kiev is symbolic rather than an actual thing.
Yeah.
But it's done at ICM no harm, has it?
No.
Oh, definitely not.
But then they're Ukrainian anyway, though, aren't they? So
Yeah. They do a lot of very, very focused Ukrainian stuff.
yeah.
They make no. Why would they make any bones about it? But yeah.
If you wanted to build a really accurate KA-50, would it have to have smoke coming out the back of it?
I think I've got one here.
Because every video I've seen coming out of the
There you go,
Ukraine
there's
is like one of them falling out the sky after it's been hit by a shotgun or something, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've just got to spray it black and then it's fine.
Yeah, it was like,
And we're good to go.
Yeah. Ryan Scale Model has said that the Challenger tank from Airfix will make a great start set. See, I've got a list of 20 kits because I'm going to do a video, and because Alex gave me this great name of Mostradamus that I'm going to predict what kit is going to come out. I love it. So I've been putting a list up, and because I think that in the next 12 months there's certain kits that you may see Airfix make, but most of them is a want list. And like we're saying, a starter set challenger would be brilliant. It really would. We can go on, and there's other, I'd like to see a new tooled starter set for the Concorde, because in theory you could, I've seen basic Concords, and you could in theory make a starter set of the Concorde. Just gonna have to, all you'd have to do for that Concorde is if you think about it, the fuselage in 2 halves, put them together. The wings is 1 bit put together. Okay, that's just part of it together. Then the undercarriage, just make sure they're molded in 1 piece. Then the wheels separate for the front and back, and then where the engines are at the back, just make that 1 big long section, and make sure that there's a lip. So when you put on the what are they called, there's a name for them in there on the back. Have that as 1 piece. So you go 12, 15 parts. You can make, and I don't. People say it's not iconic. It's one of the greatest things that came out of the factory after the war.
The fact that Lego is now coming out with the Concorde, that has some meaning there, right?
It's got meaning. So they need to jump on the bandwagon soon. For
an Airfix starter Concorde, I wouldn't even bother with undercarriage. I'd have a nice little flight stand and have it.
Exactly.
Concorde, wheels up.
You know what we should do, Ross, and this is for everybody as a group. In December, we should all make our predictions for 2024.
Yeah,
like 10 kits will be released from different manufacturers or whatever. We could get the form of it and then see who's right. We'll have to do some sort of prize for the winner. See if Nostradamus is actually the greatest predictor.
I predicted a Land Rover, so I'm having that. I'm taking that. Taking that one with me.
Do you think someone will bring a new Land Rover out? The new Defender?
They always do. As soon as Airfix do something, Tamiya will do it in 148. Come on, let's get real. That's what they always do, isn't it?
Yeah, but the old Land Rover is still the old Land Rover. The new Defender hasn't been released by anyone yet, has it?
No, it hasn't. I'll tell you who will probably release that will be Artillery, because that's the kind of thing they would do. I've got that Fiat 500.
Release 3 or 4 under their different companies.
I've got this one from Artillery. It's a phenomenal looking kit inside. They've done it really, really well. And so many, you see those Fiat 500s everywhere, normally on their side with a rusting exhaust with that repaired exhaust tape around them, keeping it all together. But I've seen a few on their side. They don't seem to, when they hit something, they seem to bobble and tip, So, so many Sherman kits, but hardly an M3 Lee or a Grant kit. And I think that's because Tamiya have got that market.
Yeah.
I think I Love Kit the 1/16th, didn't they, this year?
Who did, sorry?
I think your favourite brand, Moss. I Heart Kit.
Oh, I Heart Kit. Fucking hell. I Heart Kit, honestly. Oh, what a lump of shit a name. It's like I Heart Radio in the States, isn't it? Crumbs. I Heart, honestly. I wouldn't even buy a kit because it's got a shit name. So if it's got Mr. Craft on it, I don't buy it because it's a shit name.
I tell you what, though, Moss, I got as you know, I got an I Heart kit, but it was in a job lot of HMS Hood.
Oh yeah.
With their detail upset, and oh my god, the stuff they give you.
Yeah.
They give you I don't know, it must be like 0.5 millimeters or less thick wooden deck to go on the plastic. Brass barrels for all of the guns, photo etch, steel. Phenomenal. I mean, I would never attempt it, but you get a lot.
Be back in 2 minutes.
That's right. Yeah, scale mates do. Sorry, scales. AK do have a short wheelbase Land Rover, but Airfix have a Land Rover in 176. But it's not their tooling. It's if it's with the Bloodhound, yes, it would be their tooling. But it's a JB models, and the 143s they released all those years ago were hella. The only one that they had was the Operation Herrick, which I've shown a video of, which is in 148, and actually it looks bloody good, to be honest. Mini Art did an M3D grant. Yes, they did, with full interior kit. And Mr. Craft starter set would be fun if they made one. No, it wouldn't. It would be in the bin. But
it would have to be something so simple, like it would just be an artillery shell or something.
Yeah,
it would still have like 100 pieces of them.
An oil drum.
Yeah.
Yeah, 3 piece.
Yeah, Land Rover. They you know.
So, Mosty, I've got a question for you that I was asked about prior to coming on tonight, and I said I would ask in the chat.
Okay.
How many people are going to the 60th anniversary of the International Plastic Modelers Society this year?
Where is it held to?
Where is it normally held?
In Telford.
Yeah.
Telford, yeah. Is the APM? Yeah, is it?
Sorry, I'm thinking of America then. Sorry.
No. It's Telford show.
Yeah,
No, can't go there, you freeloader.
I won't be there on Saturday. I won't be there on the Saturday, but I might be there on the Sunday. It depends what's going on. I've got a gig on the Saturday night for an 18th birthday, so I may go up during the day, drive up, and then come back, and then go up again on the Sunday. I don't know yet. I haven't decided what I'm going to do.
I was going to go on the day that most of us were going to try and catch up with everybody.
Sunday will probably be the best one for me.
My idea is to get there by Friday evening and come back on Sunday afternoon.
Oh, you're doing the full hog, are you, Nini?
Yeah, because there's people from Portugal going on. There's you guys that I want to be with as well. So one day is not going to be enough to be with everyone. So I want to make the most. As I'm going, I want to make the most out of the show.
Mm.
Yeah, I'll probably do the full weekend. Probably not Friday, but I'll go Saturday, Sunday.
It's on the Friday though, is it? It's Saturday, Sunday, isn't it?
Saturday, yeah, but Friday evening people start meeting up around. So I might meet with some Portuguese people on Friday. You guys, whenever you guys go, either Saturday and Sunday, and there's a lot of other people that I know that they are going as well. So yeah, I might do the 3 days. Yeah.
Chief AAA, that's my big bugbear, that no display stands, including Airfix plain kits anymore. Nobody does them though. Nobody puts a stand in. The only ones I know of is the Airfix starter sets, but they're particular for that kit. But you can buy them separate. They do need a redesign because when you do it, you know, to me those old stands are only good if you're doing a Star Trek model, because that's what it looks like, the Star Trek badge. So they can get rid of that and design something a little bit more. And they never look safe anyway. If you see the point where they go in, it's like crumbs, you know. And also, in all honesty, I still reckon, and we're going to have this debate over time and time again, I still think that 80% of kits that are built with gearing down, not gearing up.
Yeah, they are.
So why would they bother, you know, with a stand when you can... Look, you can't have everything in a model kit. You really can't, you know, and that's why pilots are going, because we didn't realise until we were told how expensive it is to design a pilot, because it's not a case of just scanning a picture and putting it in the computer like they can do there. They've got to mold it. It's a physical molding. Then they've got to shrink it down and then add it in. It just doesn't. No, it's not the same. It really isn't.
Crash land.
You know. So, and if you really want a decent model, you can go up to Hornby and get the Simon Kohler one now for $6.99. I did gas Airfix for 148 Royal Naval Sea King at Tankfix this year. At the A1 show, I've asked them for a 148 Navy Phantom, so that's my prediction for 2024.
Good luck on that one.
But as I say, we can talk about schemes, what they're going to bring out this year. I still think they're going to release a new Vulcan scheme next year. That's on the prediction of one of mine. I think they'll do that. So, but yeah.
But I'm not being funny. You've got insider information on your side.
I have no insider information.
If anything, we have to get on the plan.
Right. I'll tell you this much now. Dale can hold in a shit. Right? He will not. He don't leak nothing. That man.
Nope.
He is so. I did kind of chuckle at Jonathan Mock because I saw him at the model show at Avon, and I was talking to him about the Sea King, and they said, oh, they wrote me in it because he's been off all ill, bless him. Get well soon, by the way. He's looking really, really well. He's got a massive big scar on his head that he showed me. It's like, whoa, you know, when they're operating on your brain and stuff. He's getting well, but we love him. Brilliant guy.
That's good.
And he said that they got the announcement saying that they're releasing the Sea King. And he panicked because he thought that they had already announced it back at the range launch. He completely didn't realise that they were going to release it now. And he said it's lucky he never mentioned it in other live streams. He was thought because of all the releases that they had at the beginning of the year, he didn't realise that Airfix were going to release the Sea King out of the blue like they did. So he needs to make sure and read up on what's being released in information-wise. So, but as I said, it's I guarantee 148 AEW Gannett next year. Dale defended their position too robustly whenever asked. My political spider senses tingled during his replies. They can't do it with that kit, though, can they, with the AEW Gannett? It's a totally different shape, if I'm right. Is that correct? Or am I...
Yeah.
It's a totally different shape, isn't it?
Yeah, it's got a big, massive dome underneath it.
Yeah, you can't build it with what they've got. So you'll never see it, unfortunately.
It would need a completely new tool for the fuselage.
Want to build a flash-ridden disaster kit? Anything from Smur models. They are very cheap in price and it shows. Well, a lot of the tannery is Smur, isn't it? The older kits is Smur. And Isai, isn't it? Wesky.
A lot of them are Hella.
Yeah.
A lot of them are Hella kits.
Is Moss going to retain it? No, he's not. I wish he was. I wish I was.
Are you taking some models up to Telford to auction them?
No, I'm not. Not this year. It's just too much aggro. What I'm going to do, folks, is put them on Vinted for you guys to have a look at and buy if you want. That's what I'm going to do.
Are we not getting a one last minute?
No, not tonight. I'll tell you the reason why I was late tonight, because I went to Superbikes yesterday and I had to catch up with all the stuff I missed out on Saturday and Sunday, all my emails and stuff and all my business side of things. And I didn't get a chance to go up into the loft today. But I am going to put about 20 models on Vinted and I'll link it to the channel. So if you want to buy a kit, go on to Vinted and buy it from there. And I will price them reasonable. I'm not going to try and rip people off because it's not about that. But I will put them out. I predict that Airfix will bring out a plastic kit next year. Do I win?
That's a safe bet.
I think no, because it'll probably be more than just one.
Yes.
You're right. Some tannery kits are Tamiya and vice versa. That's correct. Which is Mod. What is the future of your podcast? I think it's the best podcast available. I left a fast 5-star review on the last episode. I hope you continue with it. Well, I'm touched. Alex, tell him.
We have 2 episodes in the can. It's just editing time. So if any of you guys want to edit a podcast or know somebody who's an editor with who's really cheap with a bit of spare time, it's just getting the time. It takes basically takes a day to edit an episode. And obviously with the shop, with our channels and a normal life jobs, it's just a matter of finding time to get the episodes edited. So thank you for the praise.
Yeah.
I fully agree. It is the best podcast available. You should all go listen to it.
And to be fair, me and Alex have got some really good plans. We've got some top people who want to come on board and talk to us on the podcast. But unfortunately, it's just that editing. And, you know, it's not like video editing where you can record something, put on the computer, edit that bit, then go back to the bench. We talk for 3 hours and try to condense it down in 2. Now, I have no idea. Editing audio is not my game. You know, I edit from my video. It's simple because it's only in iMovie. And because it's visual, it's easier to edit visually than it is to edit audibly. And but if there's anybody out there that could do it, I will flood you with model kits if you could help me and Alex out, because we have got some brilliant content on those, and I love doing it with Alex because I think me and Alex kind of bounce off each other really well. you know, and I like the guy as well. To be fair, you know what I mean. So when you do it with somebody that you like and you want to spend time with, it's a good little podcast. So. So Boldly Girls just said, I predict Moz will have a semi at next year's Airfix releases.
Only a semi.
Only a semi, yeah. Detached. Why are they doing a bear cat? They're not doing a bear cat that I know of. Doc Brown scale models. Models, hit me up. Let's talk. If you could do that for us, mate, that'd be wonderful. Email me, my friend. We have got a little bit of funds. If it does cost money, but if anybody could help us with podcast, me and Alex would be delighted. We have a Discord called Beyond the Box. So if you're on Discord, please follow us on there and contact us through there, because it would be absolutely fantastic if we had an editor. If we had an editor, we could probably push out more podcasts, can't we, Alex?
Oh, we can slam out one a week if we got an editor.
Yeah, if we had an editor. The only thing that takes time is finding the kits to put in. Stick fucking twist. It's a nightmare. I cry like, oh no.
To be fair, though, we usually do that on the day.
On the day, I get a little email link. I get an email link from Alex saying this is stick twist. Or was it by? Was it no? What is it? We call it again? Oh, I forgot what it's called now.
Hit, miss, or twist.
Hit, miss, or twist. That's the one. How could I forget that? And he'll send it to me at 9 o'clock. I'm there on scale, mate. Would it be possible to put a link in for the podcast? Exactly, we will do. If you actually look at the channel, if you look underneath the description, we do have the link there. So if it's called Beyond the Box. Let me just click on it to get it up. There you go. I think there's 5 up so far, I think. So there's the link for the podcast. So that should be up now. And also, if you look in the description of this video, it takes you to there. And was it only showing the one on this one? But if you actually click on all episodes at the top, it will take you to. Actually, I'll do that one. Actually, let's ignore the original ones that Alex did. We're the ones called Beyond the Box. I think he's got like the HUD Systems podcast, which is his own podcast on there. Can you get rid of them, Alex, or is it they stay on there for life?
No, it's because it's all on the same.
Link. Here's a better link if that's better for you. There's a better link for you on that one. And so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 we've done so far, Alex. That's brilliant, isn't it? So
we've got 8, but we've only published 6.
We've got, yeah. And I will start to put them on my my Substack as well. I'll put up the show notes and the link in the Substack, so hopefully people look at that. But it's been brilliant. It's the most enjoyable, and hopefully we'll get some of you guys in the channel on the panel here to come and join us as well. We've got lots of ideas, but obviously, it's an evening, so we get to our computers at 7 o'clock. We then talk a bit and everything. Then we crack on at about 7:15, and then at 11 o'clock we decide that one of us needs to go for a piss, and we close the podcast.
Well, one of our girlfriend stroke wife is saying, "What are you doing?"
Yeah,
I thought we were watching a film.
Yeah.
Mike already told me dinner's ready.
You see, somebody's after just one auction there, Moss.
I'm not tonight. I'm really tonight.
It's popular.
Tempted.
Think of the camera.
Yeah, just one.
Yeah, the camera.
Click, click, click.
So much
One step
persuaded.
closer and you would have been there.
Honestly, what can
One for me.
You gentlemen, honestly, what do you do to me?
You know you love us. Get on with it.
Right. I'm trying to do links
answer.
here for the. I'm trying to do links here as well for the Substack.
Full screen.
Full screen. You go. Substack is here. If you want to join up to my Substack and read my things and everything.
There you go, Wayne.
Model kits. Before you go, let me know when you're free on a Monday night. Come and jump in with us and link it to your channel. You're quite welcome, mate, to jump on because you're an FX boy anyway. So All right, so jump in.
Be
So I'll
nice.
just put the link in for the Substack, and I put in. I also invited Nigel's modelling bench to join us tonight, but unfortunately he was out on the beers, so he didn't want to come. So,
Oh, it's just
but Doc
terrible.
Brown, I think I've got your email or Discord. I will contact you. But anyways, right then. Okay, so North American P51D Mustang 148. This is a great kit. This one is
I'm
still
tempted.
sealed. This one's still sealed. Nuno, you've built this one, haven't you?
Not the 48 one.
Oh, who's built this one then? Who's built this?
Sorry, mate.
No,
No one's built
Got it
it.
in the
think it
stash,
is.
Built
waiting.
72nd, but not that.
See, this is what I mean. Yeah, he's not lived. This is the perfect starter. I'm joking, right? Forget your Tamiya. You want to build this, all right? Honestly, you boys, you destroy me. I've got the, I'm trying to. Anyways, where's my phone? I've got to get my phone up and everything and set it for 5 minutes. Crumbs. Or because you boys want to have a go at an auction. Right, where's the timer to? Let me just put that on there so I can't do that. And then go on to timer. And there's the timer. Stopwatch. No, where is it? Timer. 5 minutes. Okay, so 5 minutes on the clock. Right. So you are bidding on a North American P51D Mustang for 148. It's a cracker. An absolute cracker of a build. You will love it. It's still sealed. It comes with 2 flying hours. I think these retail for around 24 quid. 20, 30 quid, something like that. Oh, no, I think it was 80 quid. Sorry. I think these retail at about 80 quid. And they'll make the perfect starter set. So anyways, right, let's start going now. 5 minutes on the clock, and let's have a go. Right. So,
To be fair, though, I don't know why we're bothering because we know Alex is just going to win it anyway.
yeah,
So,
yeah. The
Alex,
shot-
probably got one of
I'll
these.
hold myself out of it tonight. There you go.
To be fair, mate, you probably got one of these. You probably because they are.
I
a
do.
good
I
one.
got a couple actually.
Yeah.
See if
So
it'll
nearly
be nice.
30
Okay,
quid.
cool.
So Fenris is up.
Oh.
Michael
Oh.
Kerr is up to
Get
30.
look at that.
Look at that, £30 from Michael Kerr. Michael, if you get this kit, you're gonna love it. Honestly. Remember, if you've not bought a kit off me before, I do send the zines. If you haven't, you've probably got the zines anyway. These people, but if you're new to buying one, always. If you want me to sign the box, I'll sign the box as well. But make sure you tell me, okay? So 30 quid for this.
Don't
one.
ruin the kid.
North American. People want it signed. People want it signed. But also remember, you have to add an extra £5 to the total because that's how much it costs to post these things. All right, so £5 on postage on these. So if you can add, remember what you're bidding on, you add an extra £5. If you're bidding from outside the country, you have to contact me because it costs a little bit more. The rates
Not
for
bad,
America have gone up to 30 quid, was shocked for me.
Yeah.
But apparently, according to the women at Royal Mail, they're going to drop back down again later. It's just at the moment there's a lot. It's to do with rates or something.
Yeah.
Not our side, it's your side, the America side or something. So
That's probably true.
but what I do is I take the risk. I do take the risk, and I say I put them that they're worth a tenner, and it's a sample. So if they do get lost, I'll only get a tenner back. But if I put up the price, when it gets there, you'll get custom charges and all sorts of things abroad. It's wicked. You don't get that from Wish, do you? You don't seem to get taxes and everything from Wish. But as soon as I send something to America, it gets held up. The other one that got held up with, I sent a model kit to Nomad Productions. I never got there, and it's because they reckon customs, and he needed to pay extra on the tax on it. He never got the message, so it got destroyed. He never got it. Lovely kit.
Wow.
I've not had an issue with them with all.
No, but I think it's because I tell them it's a commercial.
Yeah.
And I put the price as a tenner. That's what I do. If I said, "Oh, this is worth $100," they'd be like, "Oh, I got a tax on that, 22%." So, To Boldly Go has reviewed this kit. So if you want to go and check it out, he's left a link in the description box, but in the comments in the chat next door. So what are we up to? We're down to 2 minutes on this one. Michael's got it at 30 quid. So yeah.
There's your sticker bits.
So if you want me to sign it, let me know when you email me, or if you want me. If there's anything else you need, let me know. So I got a load of Tamiya to sell on in a bit as well, where I get my outlaw paints. I'm going to do it each thing singly. Like you're going to bid on a pot of LP1. We got a pound somewhere. We got a pound.
I need. What's the specific blues you got?
Oh, loads of blues. I can't wait for. I can't wait.
Any bear? No.
Yeah, he wants that Vallejo blue.
Yeah, Vallejo blue.
You need to find that exact shade.
You have to buy that off Alex when you come over to his shop because he's got it all. Yeah,
I actually did just get some glossy sea blue not long ago from Vallejo, and I haven't tried it out yet.
I was going to put out the Thunderbirds at some point, the Fab 1 car that I got, but I've decided against it now because I want to spray that one up myself. So I've got an Airbus, a Revell Airbus, but it's Korean, so it's Academy, so it'd be a good kit. So that's one thing Revell could do. Airlines in starter sets, because they're not that difficult to build, are they?
No.
So Michael's got it 50 seconds left on the clock. 50 seconds left on the clock. I think you got this one, Michael, I think.
Don't forget they've got all these bits as well.
Yeah, you get the. Yeah, I think he already got that the last time, mate, because I sent him a kit this week. So, did you get it, Michael? You know, I sent it today, didn't I? So you wouldn't have got it. So, yeah, it would have sent today. Already, and have plenty of outlaw paints. Looking forward to the brushables. I am too, to be honest. But I just would like to get all the airbrush ones in first, and then move on to the. So where you go? Oh, Zizan's in. Hello, Zizan. Because Zizan, I think's in. Well, down to 8 seconds. You want to bid now? Too late, I think. 5, 4.
By the time it's hit.
3, 2, 1. That's it. Michael Kerr's bought another kit off me. Bless him. Bless him.
It's like a beautiful kit too.
The camera. I think I'm about 500-600 quid in the camera fund now. I think so. It's all coming together nicely. I have got a model shop that would like to sponsor some of my videos. So, and I mean, if any company would like to sponsor my videos, it's £50 a video, and you sponsor a video, and I put you at the front, and I do a little video about your business. So, there's a new model shop opened, and I'm going up there in a couple of weeks to film it, and they've bought 4 advert spots on my videos. So, but anyway, there you go, Michael. You've ordered yourself a 1/48 scale. Email me the email address, and we'll sort out posting that out to you tomorrow. Anyways, it's gone 10 o'clock. Has it gone quick tonight? I think that's been a really good debate, actually. One of the better ones, I guess. What did all right, that one. Yeah. William Thomas, I hope Airfix are paying you, matey. I can assure you, if you speak to Plastic, or speak to Alex, or speak to Model Minutes, or speak to Modeling Weekly, or speak to Gary Stuff, or speak to Sully, or speak to John Alec, and anyone else, and John Parker, you don't get a penny out of Airfix, but
No,
they do. They
just speak to his accountant.
They speak.
If you promote Airfix online, they say thank you very much, and that's as far as they go.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're paying them.
I'm not going to
Well
lie.
done, sucker.
We have all those who have been to the events have all come away with a model or two, but they do not put anything on that gift. They tell you to say exactly what you feel. When I get sponsors,
I'm surprised that you got the arrangement for the discounts through Airfix off your channel. I'm surprised they've done that even, but
yeah, that Dale came up with it. He said, I told him, I said, I'm doing it. But I think that they do well out of me when I do the unboxings and stuff. They both get noticed, yeah, and they appreciate that I've done them. So,
has Alex got any Sea Kings in his shop?
Not yet.
There you go.
Very good. Sally.
Not available yet.
You shut up. Anyway, thank you all in the chat. We've tried to answer many questions and I've been doing that more and more now. I've got Fenris helping as well, where we try and get your comments on the screen. Even if we don't necessarily comment on them, your comments are truly appreciated appreciated on this stream. So thank you for joining. And Marcus, thank you for joining us for the first time. I hope you like and subscribe. And also, can you please subscribe to the other fellas and mugglers here? Because this is what it's all about, is sharing this this space out. Airfix and Chill is not all about Moz. It's about all these other guys here as well. And we all need your support because YouTube's algorithms are just bastards sometimes, and trying to get our videos seen and work is good. So, yeah, Celtic, I'll see you tomorrow night at Model Club, and I'll see you on Thursday as well at ISCA Scale Model Club as well. So, the Concord discount is still active. I don't know. I think it ran out in August. I think he set it to the beginning of August. But Dale said, I said to Dale, this is what I'm doing my next challenge. He said, would you like a discount code on that? And that's what he did. And I can't fault Dale for supporting that. So, and they sold quite a few Concords as well. So, plus all the other kits that people are using that discount. We'll say no more. We won't say any more about that in case they don't want to do it again. Anyway, thanks all. Panel just stay on after when I close this down so we have a quick chat. Anyway, to the rest of you, thank you so much. And we will see you next, I believe it's next Monday. If not, I'll tell you if it's next Tuesday. But have a good one. Bless you all and good night. Bye-bye.
Have a good evening off.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.